Hey guys, Rick and Duke, welcome to another episode of War HOGG Words of Wisdom, coming to you live from the corner of Opinion and Suppression Lane. This episode, we're going to talk about these fact checkers. Who are they? Who knows? Anyway, let's do some quick housekeeping, guys. Thank you for giving me your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. Couldn't do it without you while you're floating around the interwebs. Please leave us a rating, review, hit that subscribe button, please. That's what's going to help us beat this whole big tech algorithm and move us where more people can hear our show. While you're out there surfing the interwebs, don't forget to swing by warhog.com, kellydefense.com, sign up for those newsletters. Trust me, we will not inundate you with a bunch of stuff because pretty much the one-man show. We got other things going on, but kind of give you some pertinent data as far as what's going on with War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. If you're looking to make yourself 1% better every day, take a look at our OTR Patreon crew. We got a 7-day free trial. So patreon.com/on the range podcast. Check it out, preferably during one of our Zoom calls so that we can kind of see what our Zoom calls are like. We do a bi-monthly interactive with me and Mark, and just a great crew over there at the Patreon page. So let's just jump into this thing, man. Let's talk about these fact checkers. So facts, what are facts? What are opinions? What's right? What's wrong? I'm personally at the point where I am tired of all these social platforms checking on what I say. I'm entitled to my opinion. So if I sit there and want to go, hey, the sky's purple, are they going to sit there and go, nope, the sky's blue? That fact is incorrect. Okay. I don't know whatever happened to the word opinion. It's like we're changing things. So, in my opinion, and I've said it repeatedly, and I've yet to get busted by the fact checkers, right? I say Zuck's a pedo, right? You look at his platform, number one platform for promoting child sex trafficking. Nobody's come back and said anything. I haven't had the fact checkers go, oh, you're wrong. Lord knows his staff's been busted, being pedophiles and everything else, right? So it's interesting how they pick and choose this thing. So I did a little digging, right? I said, let's go figure this thing out. So I forget what I was looking at on Instagram there. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh, this is false information, by the fact checkers. So a couple things. I went to who they said, and it was politicalfact.com. Ooh, they've got their own website, right? Now, it's funny because they've got this pop-up for Temu, which is this shopping app. Oh, yeah, from China, communist. We'll get into them here in a little bit because it all ties together, man. All this stuff is just absolutely crazy, right? So understand that this particular fact checker has Temu ads from communist China, okay? But here's the thing. There's no things as fact or fiction. When you sit there and scroll through, so looking at some of the things, I just hit Joe Biden, right? And I'm not going to get into all the details of what the specifics are. You guys can take a look if you want, but we got mostly true. That's a false statement. Half true, mostly true, mostly false, false, false. What is this crap, right? So, it's funny. One of them was U.S. Department of Justice removes international child sex trafficking from its quote list of offenses that deserves high degree of attention, end quote, right? They say that's false. Okay, well, you can go on there and check it, right? But when I was cruising through some of these things, who do they use as their sources? In one instance, there's one particular article I was looking at. It was some YouTube video and them. Oh, so now they're the subject matter experts? They're the ones that determine what's right, what's wrong? Now, it's funny when you look at their Instagram page, right? They said they've been debunking or verifying since 2007. I never heard of them, right? And to be honest with you, I don't think anyone ever heard that this whole thing as far as fact checking ever since the virus came out. Really, that's when you saw the whole suppression. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, they're telling lies, right? And it's funny, one of their things is they try to debunk saying the Target child swimwear tuckwear was false. Well, let's think about it. You got a woman in there at the kids' stuff showing you the tuck friendly right there. Like, oh, no, no, no. That was for adults. Yo, what part don't you get? Right. And it was funny because I was planning on going to Target and doing a look for myself, right? Just for my own curiosity, check this thing out. Well, then of course I found out that Target is supporting the mutilation of children that have gender dysphoria, which is a mental health issue, right? And I'm not even going to step foot in Target, right? So we, as a family, opted, hey, Target, you're done. You're not getting our dollars. We will not support you anymore. So that bit of, if you want to say research for me, out the door. We're not doing it. I'm not stepping foot in your establishment. I'm not giving you the time of day. But it's funny, who entitled these cats that they're the subject matter expert on whatever? So if Rick opts to sit there and go or put a post, hey man, all your rubbish about the China virus, all lies. Oh, what do you know? Masks don't work. Okay. Who are you to debunk? I'm entitled to my opinion. If I sit there and go, don't get the shot, don't vote for Biden, don't do this, right? What are you going to say? Oh, your facts are, you're wrong. So think about it, guys. Are the very words that we're used to using, my opinion, okay, is now being changed, checked, challenged, whatever you want to say, by big tech and their narrative under this quote unquote fact checkers. Well, who are these cats? Right? That's the part I don't get. And there's all kinds. There's numerous fact checker organizations. Well, there used to be a time and place where the media, mainstream media, they were kind of, if you want to say, the fact checkers, or they were digging into facts, or they'd check to say, oh, the administration's lying on this or lying on that. The funny thing is, the Biden administration, the biggest shadow child sex trafficking organization going, no one's debunked that. No one has said, no, they haven't lost 85,000 kids. You haven't seen a single one. And it's interesting. And I haven't quite figured out where these fact checkers come in, how they're doing their cruising. Obviously, they got to be in bed with Insta, right? Because, or Facebook, all of Meta. Because how else would you get them to jam this thing in there? And when you take a step back, right? And here's the whole thing, guys, right? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not this. I'm looking for some answers. I'm looking for the truth. Well, we know Zuck lies because he's being called back to Congress for being in contempt for lying. What CEO doesn't know what's going on with their business? He knows exactly what's going on, right? Zuck could sit there and have a platform that could do absolutely amazing things globally. But he's an evil man, and he don't. He would rather traffic kids, right? Now, I don't spend a bunch of time on there. I haven't been cruising. I haven't really been digging because at the end of the day, I got better things to do, like making myself 1% better every single day. But it's funny, on all the child sex trafficking stuff, I personally haven't seen any false or fact check negates, right? Haven't seen one for Sound of Freedom going, oh, the movie's a lie, or things Tim Ballard, he's telling stories, right? Haven't seen any of that. It was mainly during old China virus time when you really saw that get flagged. And I don't know what key buzzwords or whatever they were looking for, but something spikes them to go, oh, that's not true. Well, I'm entitled to my opinion, right? And really, am I jaded towards social? 100% I am. Without a doubt. Yeah, when you get deactivated, And again, I got it. It's their platform. They can do what they want, right? But the very tool that I'm using to try to make money, try to feed my family, to try to give something more to people, and you sit there and whisk it away. And then you have it debunked or not reach out. Yeah, of course I'm jaded. Not a super fan of it, right? Not a super fan of Zuck. You know, Elon hasn't really pulled through either because we don't see that magic on Twitter. Although I don't think I've seen any fact checkers on Twitter, but I'm not spending a whole bunch of time on Twitter. Haven't seen anything. And again, I keep going back to LinkedIn. I haven't seen anything on LinkedIn going, this is false. Those facts aren't real. But how come nobody haven't seen anything on the fact checkers when we try to change history? We try to have our woke agendas, right? Those all seem to be fine. But I bring all this stuff up because I think it's important that we take a step back, right? Just because something on social and some moron freaking page their website goes, well, that's not true. I mean, look at the answers. I got to go back here and scroll, right? Because it's either right or wrong, false or not, right? But their answers is, well, you know, it's false. It's false. Let me see here. I think there was let me get my mostly false, mostly true, you know? So I guess Biden, this was a mostly true. I guess Biden said, I'm not going to dig for the whole answer. In the U.S., a person can be married in the morning, thrown out of a restaurant for being gay in the afternoon. Okay. I don't know how that's mostly true. Again, it's just half true. Here's one. 26 out of every 100 students in, I guess, K through 12 speak Spanish. Okay, half true. Who cares? Right? Why are we wasting our time? What's it matter? You know? Oh, this was a classic. We have plans to build a railroad from the Pacific all the way across the Indian Ocean. Well, that was false. You know? Again, it's just all this stuff. You know, here's another one, mostly true. I mean, where do you get this rubbish, right? Who cares? Personally, there's people that have entirely too much time on their hands, straight up for manipulation, straight up for propaganda, straight up for wanting you to think a certain way, wanting you to be a certain way. And I'm going to tell you straight up, you know, we kept the show at kind of a medium point. We didn't really dip our toe into all the political stuff, right? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just a guy that goes, something don't smell right. Something don't look right. And we're going to start we're going after it, right? Because especially on the social side, you'll promote child sex trafficking. You'll have pedo hashtags, which I never took a look at those hashtags because I didn't even want to be part of that crap. But I will try to put in, and I have put hashtag save the children. Doesn't populate. I wonder why. Makes you scratch your head. Right? But ever since the whole China virus thing, they've been trying to push a narrative. They're trying to get you, the viewer listener, not to think. And I'm trying to do just the opposite. I want you to apply common sense. I want you to take a step back. Go, does this make sense? None of this stuff makes sense to me. None of it. Right? I'm entitled to my opinion. Bottom line. Fact checkers, go pound sand. If I get something historically wrong, then correct me. Right? If I sit there and go, hey, World War II ended in 1947, go, no, Rick, it was 1945. Oh, thanks, buddy. Maybe it was a slip of the tongue, right? Who knows? But what does it matter? Because they want to push their narrative. They want to push their propaganda. And it's funny because I'm going to do some more, right? Let's talk about, we're going to have to do it now. We'll save it for another episode. But we're going to talk about Big Pharma, right? What Big Pharma's doing, because they're all tied in. Let's talk about mental health. Whew. Why do we currently have a super mental health crisis in this country? Well, we'll do digging on that one, but I'll tell you, it's got to go back to social, right? Not if, it does. Look at all the food the food we're eating. I did a post the other day. Much as I'm not a super fan of the Soviets, man, Putin's like, nope, no more non-GMO foods. So we're going to eat healthy. It's like, damn. Russians are doing it. They're getting stronger. We're over here getting weaker. What are we at? 65, 70% obesity, right? But my whole point being is we have to get back to have an honest conversation. We have to get back to, hey, I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to yours. Great. But if we don't have conversations, if we can't openly communicate, then what good is it? It's just straight propaganda. And it goes back to, in my opinion, Cold War era Soviet Union. You're going to get state media to tell you exactly what they want you to think. And that's the roads we're going down. How many people freaking believe these fact checkers? I don't know. I don't believe nothing. You can put whatever you want on social, right? If I'm really going to dig into it, I want to know more. I personally will do some research, get a couple different other spots to get my information and go, yeah, here's what's up. But like, let's use the whole China virus thing. Let's think about it. All right, we've got this massively death-defying causing illness, right? Of course, during that time, heart disease, the number one killer in the United States, had 0 cases, right? But you're telling me, first tell me to wash my hands. Cool, I'm fine with that. I don't need to be told to wash my hands. But then you go, stay 6 feet away. Okay, cool. That tells me from my Army experience, right? I'm not a microbiologist, but from my Army experience, this thing's got a very short life. It can be without a host. That's what it tells me. But then it's like, the more you start putting facts out there, the more doctors start going stuff. Oh, they're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. People debunking the vax, right? Oh, what do they know? You look at Twitter before Elon got it, right? Twitter straight up oppressing. I mean, all these cats. And I kind of brought up in the last show where somebody was like, well, Rick, it's, First Amendment protects you from the federal government. Yes, it does. I'm wrapping these social platforms in there. Why? Because the federal government has touched to them. The federal government's telling them what narrate should be out there for whatever. Oh, you don't want to put out about the old Biden laptop. That's Russian disinformation. Disinformation. Jesus, give me a break, man. That was right up there. Fact. How about them apples, right? So all these fact checkers, they got it wrong. And I'm sure if we start digging, they got their facts wrong and other stuff. So, viewers, listeners, I just tell you this. Here's your words of wisdom. Don't trust the fact checkers. Do your own research. Get out there, do your own digging, and be entitled to your own opinion. In closing, guys, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless our troops. God bless the United States of America. Train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range. Rick and Duco out.